All right, let me set the stage for you. I am in Wyoming right now in my camper. It is raining outside, and we have had family festivities for the 4th of July. And as you can imagine, I kind of get these thoughts of, this idea of freedom. Freedom has a birthday. America, land of the free, home of the brave. But what is freedom? And are any of us really free? And let me dive into this a little bit, because if you think about it, we lock ourselves down with so many preconceived notions. We lock ourselves down with what we think we should do. We get locked in the tyranny of the mind, which is how. Because if you think about it, how only shows up if you talk to someone who has already done it, or after you have done it. So you if you hear those sounds, by the way, that is, I think we've got hail now hitting the camper. But hey, we're gonna power through. We're gonna get this podcast up because I think it's important. But rearrange the letters of how to who so that you can get into the right mindset, the right circles. People who clap when you win, they want to see what is possible for you with them, not just for them, all that good stuff. But let's just dive into freedom. Freedom is a situation that we have to talk about because freedom of choice. And when I say choice, it's do what you want to do when you want to do it. It usually takes some sort of resources. The freedom of time. How about the freedom of expression? You express your thoughts. Or do you think you're going to be judged on social media? Do you think that you're going to be judged by people who are going to, shun you, scorn you? They're going to not call you back. They're not going to invite you to that party. Are you fitting into a social mold? Again, this sound you're hearing is hail hitting the camper. But are any of us actually free? And, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we are, because of where we get our values, where we get our value. And we want our value, us to feel like we are valuable. We want that to be directly tied to a meaningful contribution in life. So often we're getting all of the things that are from an external source. We're looking for the likes, the views, everything like that. And of course the listens, which if you're listening to this, I really appreciate you, especially through this hailstorm. I actually had to just stop because it literally got unlistenable. I think that's a word. Anyway, but it's the contribution that you're making. Have you ever been talking to someone and you see their light go on? You get super excited and they start getting it. They're like, oh my gosh, like, and you can tell that you've ignited a fire. You can tell that you have changed just even just 1%. Think about it. If you change someone's life, the way that they think about things, the way they do things by 1%, imagine if you're a sniper and if you change by 1%, I mean, you're moving by a football field in the length of your life. And that's the contribution that we want to make. That's what we want to tie our values to. But thinking about freedom, this crazy word that America is obsessed with, and don't get me wrong, rightfully so. I very much do love America, but I think that we are, beholden to different masters than we think we are. I think we, vilify the U.S. government and different things, but we don't spend any time vilifying how much time we spend in front of a TV. We don't vilify, like, for instance, think about this. Have you ever been the person who writes the scathing email to the airline and you made me miss my flight and you did this and I can't believe you had one job, blah, 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 and you go on Yelp and you go on Google and you go on all of these things. But then when you do the same thing, you show up late, or you need the same grace, you give an excuse and you're shocked when someone won't accept your excuse. And in this idea of cancel culture that we have become obsessed with, I think that we can do better by really understanding what freedom means to each and every one of us. And what that means is it means something different to everybody. Freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of actually feeling like you need to or you can express yourself. For instance, think of a terrible domestic exchange between two partners, and you have one that's super alpha and one that's a little submissive, and one feels like they can never actually say what they think. They can never communicate on a real level because they're always trying to, turn themselves into someone or something that they think the other person wants. And it takes me back to the Jim Rohn saying, because he said, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me. I'm going to repeat that. I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me, because we've got to understand where control comes from. We can only control realistically our own attitude. We can only control how we react to things, what we take action on. It's your universe. It's your self. It's you who is in control of you. And so often we want to blame, we want to exonerate ourselves. And that's why, I think America's obsessive culture on, for instance, the guru mentality, you look at, single, people, hey, this is what I need to do. What you're trying to do is kind of absolve yourself of responsibility, because you're going to say, hey, this is the way, this is what, they did. But the thing is they might be telling them their story from the middle and you're trying to follow in their footsteps, but you're at the beginning, or they might have just been lying. I know that painting a narrative, painting a picture, it's something I've absolutely been guilty of, trying to be an influencer, if you will, when I finally got fed up and got rid of that word out of something I want to do. I want to make an impact. And I don't want to influence for the sake of what we have now called influencing these days. And that's because I have the freedom over my philosophy. I have the freedom over the way I'm going to build my organization, my company. And if someone doesn't agree with me, that's okay too, because my way works for me, but it's not the only way. It's kind of like in Talladega Nights when he says, well, if you're not first, you're last. And the dad goes, I was high when I said that. You could be second, you could be third, you can be fourth. I mean, heck, they probably give money for last place these days. Now, I'm not advocating for mediocrity. All I'm saying is, if the best you could do that day was second place, be proud. Leave it all on the table. That's all I'm asking. Go the final percent. As long as you give the final percent in your life, if that's second place that day, or a crash out, or a complete and utter failure to the masses, but you gave it everything, that's okay. People are only putting on their successes these days. They're painting the picture, and they're doing all of these things to make you think they're perfect. We are obsessed with perfection or pity. There's very little in between, when we all know that life has both. Life has some perfect, amazing moments, and life will bring us some absolute pitiful moments, and that's okay. You can't always stay in one thing. It's kind of like the 6 human needs that Tony Robbins talks about. Number one thing that most people want is certainty. The very next thing that he says that people want is uncertainty. Because we get bored. If you had filet mignon every single day for your entire life, and then someone offered you ramen noodles, you'd take it. You'd be like, I need something else than this Wagyu beef, this $600 steak, because you just want something different. So we just need to be deliberate with our different. Let's Let's roll with that for a second. Be deliberate with your different. So if you need to be deliberate with your different, I'm going to have to take this one. You know what? I'm going to go live in our private Facebook group. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, it's the Final Percent Network, and we're going to expand and expound on be deliberate with your different, because I think a lot of people make decisions just because they need a difference, and they're not really a thought out difference, and then they're going, oh man, you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? So, but anyway, the idea of the freedom that you have to have this choice, it's, we have a will inside of us, and we can make choices on, who we are. And if you don't like where you're at, I can't remember who said it, but it's pretty common in a lot of the different books. Remember, you're not a tree. If the forest is going to get cleared out, the tree has no choice. And if you know that this machine or this thing is coming to cut down and make a clearing, humans are one of those creatures where we can move, and we don't just go off of instinct. We can think about things, and we have the freedom to move, bob, weave, adapt, change, pivot. Let's start using those superpowers, because they really are superpowers. Now, the thing is I think that we're starting to lose some of our instincts. I think we're starting to lose some of those things because we're waiting for the perfect moment. We're waiting for what this person said we should. We're waiting to have enough money. We're waiting to be old enough. We're waiting to be young enough. We're waiting to be looked at enough. We're waiting for all of these things, when realistically the secret sauce of your life is action, and you have the freedom to take action on your life to have a completely different destiny than you ever thought possible. But it's like Confucius says, when is the best time to plant a seed or tree? When is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. The second best time is right now, when you realize you need to plant one. And I'm just asking everyone to understand, in the freedom of choice, the freedom of expression, being in a great country that gives us the opportunity to fight for what we believe in, to be right for our family, our life, a destiny, kind of like that movie, A Knight's Tale. We are people who can change our stars. And I invite everybody to take action. Take action on your future, because that the planning is great, the preparation is great, but we have to take action on our future. And I really invite everybody to understand that you have the freedom right now to take action. And when I started doing this, I went to the first 10X, and I saw Tim Story speak. And I took action. I flew to Miami. We got the hotel. We took the time off for work. And I saw Tim Story at Grant Cardone's conference. And he spoke life into a dream I didn't know that I wanted. And, we have our upcoming conference on the 25th and 26th of September. And a lot of people are saying, why should I go? What's in it for me? And the real answer is, I don't know. Everyone gets something different. Everyone is going to get hit differently. Not everybody is going to go to a conference and then want to be a speaker. Some people are going to get the nugget of knowledge they need to unlock the potential to go and build the business they wanted. Another person may go have the best relationship on planet Earth. Why? Because they adjusted just a few things. They were so close to greatness. They found that final percent. And other people, may just make healthier decisions and make a difference in who they are. But the choice is yours. We're going to have the best speakers that I think have ever been on a single stage there to help you. And I assure you, I've already told everyone, we do not do pitch fest. That's not what we're all about. We're about making an impact and changing lives. So I invite you to take action on your dreams, take action on your goals, take action on that person that is inside of you that you've always wanted to let off the leash, and that person that you've always wanted to take a chance on, that person you are in the car, that person you are when you think no one's looking. That's who you really are. Now, if You don't change it all when no one's looking. Awesome, good for you. But the thing is that you have a latent superpower, what we call a X potential. It is the potential inside of you, a variable that is unused that you have not realized, utilized, and deployed properly yet. We want to give you the courage and the confidence to do that. That's what the final percent is all about. And so, but you have to take action. You have to be willing to show up. You have to be willing to get in the room. You have to be willing to say, you know what, I am taking action on me today, because you have the freedom to do so. We live in a country where we can change our stars, and we are free to do so. So, without further ado, I'm gonna wrap this up. But think about that. Are you really free? Do you have the freedom to say exactly what you actually mean, what you actually think? Do you have the freedom to go anywhere you want to go? Do you have the freedom to buy whatever you want to buy? Do you have the freedom with your family? Do you have the freedom of time? Do you have the freedom of whatever it means to you? Because check this out, freedom is different to everyone, and it's different for everyone. But it all starts with action. So I invite you to ask yourself, what single action, this could be, I'm going to read an audiobook, I'm going to reach out to Greg, I'm going to join the Final Percent Network, I'm going to go talk to my boss about that idea I've always wanted to present. I don't know what it is, but I want you to write down one action today that you have had in your soul, in your heart, in the pit of your stomach, that it's finally time to let the world know who and what that is. And I want you to be free in your spirit, be free in who you are, so that you can take the next step in your life, so that you can make a difference in your life, and you can start really, really exercising true freedom in all areas of your life. I hope everyone had a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. I love you guys. I'm back every Monday. We are going to be putting out one of these podcasts. And of course, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And I love you more.